And I first want to apologize for being late for my normal live stream on Monday nights. I have had a very busy day today and I fell asleep, and here I am now. I got up and panicked, so I hope I don't sound a little too flustered for doing this. Um, Tonight, what I'd like to do is, first of all, I got to get on my, hang on a second. I got to do a little bit of YouTube stuff and find this video. So, well, I don't know where it is. We shall see in just a minute. So, how's everybody today? Did you have a great weekend? I got to pick my son up from his trip, and I have never been so stinking happy to see a boy in my life. Never ever. Um, I was really, I didn't realize how much I missed him, y'all. That's the truth. I just didn't, I don't know, I just didn't realize. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Gosh, my computer's so slow tonight. All right. Anyhow, what I want to do tonight is I'm working on these three projects right here. This one, and this one. This is the blanket that will never end right here. It's Granny Square blanket. I've been working on it for a couple of months, maybe 3 months. And I've got a few rows put together. I'm on number 9 and 10. There's a couple more out there that need to be done. I'm getting to it when I get to it. You know what I mean? And then this project is a sea turtle that I'm working on. I wasn't going to do any more sea turtles, but, well, I had the yarn and I thought, why not? So I've got flippers made. I've got his head made, and now all I have to do is make the shell and put him all together. And now this, hey there, Bubble Animation. Thank you for coming in. And then this is going to be, well, you can probably look at it this way. This is going to be a crocheted cardigan. I wear tank tops a lot or sleeveless shirts a lot in the summertime, but I do not care to show my arms. And mostly because I feel like they're just too big. Hi, Sow Pig Salad. Thank you. Thank you very much. But this is a front panel. It's going to be about 20 inches long when I'm finished with it. I have to make two just alike. And then I got to do the back panel. So this is a project that's going to be a few days in the making. So now that I have a couple of people in my audience here watching and viewing me, type a 1 in the chat if you're still here. I would like to know what you would like to see me crochet tonight. The turtle, there she is. It's a she because she's got those girl flirty eyelashes here. Of course, some men have better eyelashes than any woman I ever met, but let's just call her a girl. You sound like the kind of person to boop someone. I bet I would. I bet I would, Mr. Dapper. I don't know what that means, but I think you're right. So anyhow, should I do the turtle? Should I finish up a little bit of this blanket over here? Right here. Or should I work on the sweater tonight? Because I have to do all three of them. Not at the same time. Hey, Doggy Life. Izzy, how are you doing? Thank you for coming in tonight. And you too, Mr. Dapper. Mister, I don't know. Shoot. It means to boop somebody's nose. All right, Izzy. Izzy, help me out. because nobody wants to click a 1 in the chat if they're here or not. So this is going to be a cardigan right here. This is a sea turtle that I'm working on, and all I have to do is the shell and put him together. And then, of course, here's the blanket that will never end. Right, I don't know. Yeah, you can see it. And I'm trying to decide which one to work on tonight for tonight's live stream. So help me out. I don't even know if I showed the cute little turtle. Ain't he cute? It's a she, I think. You think... Oh, doggy life. Man, I just played Russian roulette with my life here. You know why? Because that's the last thing I wanted to do tonight. I really, really, really am getting so sick of this blanket. But here we go. Uh-oh, let me find my black yarn. I guess it's the... Oh, there it is right there. You know, I have been dreading this blanket for the longest time. Guys, at least leave your thumbs up. I know you said but just hey or done. Thank you, Izzy. Thank you. How are you doing tonight, Izzy? How was your procedure today? Wasn't it today or was it yesterday? Shoot. Let me see. There it is right there. Hey, at least they come in and said something, Izzy. It's more than a lot of folks do, right? Did you get a notification, Izzy? Or were you just browsing and saw the channel was live? It was yesterday? Well, I hope it was all right for you. Me and Poppy have both been through that, and look, I don't remember nothing. All I remember is Poppy getting me out of the car to come home. Yes, you said, okay. Just curious. I don't know how many people are still up tonight. I mean, across the world, I guess it's probably a lot, but as far as my viewers go, maybe not very many. And I'm late because I picked my son up from his trip today. And, of course, I spent time with the family tonight, and I made dinner. Man, girl, I made the best pork roast you ever had in your life. And I made some baked beans with it and some corn on the cob, and it was delicious. And you know what I do with my pork roast when I make baked beans? Because when I make my pork roast, I cook it long and slow, right? And so when it comes out of the oven, it's just falling off the bone, right? So what I do is I take my baked beans and I throw them on my plate, and I stick my pork roast up on top of it. Like, I just get a chunk of it. And then I pull it all apart with my fork and I mix it in the beans and I eat it that way. You haven't eaten for 3 weeks? Oh my gosh. You just don't feel like eating? Hey, Jane Doe, thank you for coming in tonight. I'm so sorry that I'm late. I picked the boy up today. I was telling Izzy he got home from his vacation. So, of course, we hung out a little bit, and I made dinner. I was telling her about my dinner. That's why she's saying yummy. And I fell right slap to sleep. And just woke up about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes ago. So I feel bad for being late, but there wasn't a whole lot I could do. I was so exhausted, y'all. I mean, it was like I couldn't even keep my eyes open. Well, obviously not because I fell asleep, but still, like I needed toothpicks in them or something. Well, and in my defense, I did not take a nap today, and I usually take a bit of a nap, especially when I stay up late. Yes, and if I ate, I would have gotten sick. You have a 5 pound mass and a it is that what's wrong? Good grief. I mean, I don't know how much some things are supposed to weigh, but ouch. Okay. Maybe if I do this blanket tonight, at least get the rows put together, it won't feel like such a daunting task when I start putting the border around it and all that, because then I'll be almost done. Yeah, I think I did, Jane. I think I did need the sleep, and well, sometimes it just happens that way, but I wanted to come on live anyway because just in case somebody was out there that was dependent on coming in here, for entertainment or to talk or whatever, because people get used to a routine. And when somebody like me messes up their routine, it's inconvenient. I know when my routine gets messed up, I get a little out of sorts. And I don't think it's just because I'm old. I think I've been that way my whole life, really. Like, okay, so when my teenage girls were young, my oldest two. Now, let's see, how old was I? Well, my daughter turned 20 and I turned 40. That was 20 years ago. So I was a what, 35-year-old teenage mom. And I remember they would come and ask me, "Hey, can I go to so and so's house? And then we're going to go to the football game after school, and I'll be home at 10:30." And I would say, "That's fine. Just let me know when you get to so and so's house, and let me know when you get to the football field." Right? Now, mind you, we lived right across the street from the school, so I could find her at the football field if I needed to. Well, then um, uh, she would call home and say, "Oh, by the way, I think I think we decided we're going to go to Dairy Queen before after school lets out, and then we're going to go by so and so's house and pick so and so up, and then we're going to do." And I'd say, "Answer's no. Come home. You don't change plans. You know better. You know to call me and let me know the exact plan that's going to happen. When the plan changes, the answer's no." And that was always my motto with all my kids. If the plan changes, the answer's no. So you better have it right when you ask me. Because when them plans go to changing, they are up to no good. You kept checking, figured something had happened. Well, I mean, nothing bad happened, but, it just life. Just life. That's it. The only excuse I got is life. Um, but y'all, I'm so glad my boy is home and safe and in his bed. I worried about him something fierce. Because, there was a ton of parents up there um, with the kids. I mean, there were probably as many parents as there were kids to chaperone and to help, all the band and all that stuff. And that's pretty normal. And normally me and Poppy would have gone, but y'all, we couldn't afford the trip. That's just all there was to it. It was going to be over $6,000 for all three of us to go. And I said, we can't do that. So we didn't. We just sent him. And anyhow, my point is that even though there was a billion parents up there, None of those parents love my kid like I do. None of those parents care about what happens to my kid like I do. And I always think of that whenever I send him off, even when it's a weekend football game, they go over to another school on the bus and they're back the same night. I worry about them. I don't like them being on buses, and it's just being a paranoid parent, I guess, doing all the worrying things that moms do. But I really do wish the good Lord would have provided me with a smaller worry bone. Because, worrying about something really doesn't help, and it doesn't improve a situation or make it worse. My dad told me one time, he says, hey, while you're there worrying, I want you to answer a question for me. He said, remember that last thing you worried about? And I said, well, yeah. And he says, well, how much did that help the situation? How much did all that worrying do? Did it change it? Did it help you? Did it make you feel better? I got to thinking, well, heck no, it did not. It did not help me. It just made me miserable. But you know what? I think that's just what parents do. I certainly do. There we go. Hey, look, y'all. Only 2 more to go, and this row will be done. My therapist told me today anxiety is oh gosh, I don't know what that word is, honey. But if your therapist told you that, it probably is. Oh. Okay. Well, I have had my bouts with anxiety. I do not anymore, thank goodness. And you know what I think cured my anxiety? Number one, there's been a few cures for my anxiety. Menopause was a good cure for it. Menopause cured a lot of my anxiety. And I think it's because I am no longer a slave to my hormones. Excuse me. I had terrible, terrible PMS as a young person. And I didn't handle that part of life very well. There it is. Y'all, this black yarn is so hard to see. And I was just jerked around by my emotions so much when I was young and going through all that hormonal stuff. And I think that was a big cause of my anxiety. Now, another thing I learned to do about anxiety that not a lot of people know. But I had a therapist once upon a time ago while I was going through all that. And she said something to me that made all the sense in the world. And she said, Charlotte, you cannot physically have an anxiety attack and exercise at the same time. It is biologically impossible. Because what anxiety is, now this is how she explained it to me. I'm not a doctor. I don't know if this is true or not. But this is what a PhD therapist said to me. She said, anxiety is an adrenaline dump. It's your body's way of telling you to run, fool, because you're in danger, girl. or fight to the death, Those are the only two options when you have an anxiety attack. Run or fight to the death. But the thing is, there's no danger, right? It's only a perceived danger. So what she said to do is, I had stairs in my house at the time, and she told me to run up and down my stairs until the anxiety went away. She told me to do jumping jacks in the living room floor until the anxiety went away. She told me to take long walks. But see, now, my anxiety usually hit me in the middle of the night. And I think that's what got me into the habit of staying up all night, because I was afraid to go to sleep. I didn't want to have an anxiety attack. I'm not that way anymore. It's just habit now. But, back then I was genuinely terrified to go to sleep. And I did what she said. I mean, it took time, though. It took a lot of time to train myself for that to be my response. Because, when you have anxiety, you can't think straight in the middle of that. So you either have to write yourself a note, or you have to train yourself to do the things. I also would, I used to quote that Bible verse that said, it was like a chant. And now I know Lord didn't intend for it to be a chant, but it helped me. Let me look it up real quick. Hey, ray of sunshine, how are you? Well, yeah, that too, that too. But what she explained to me is that when your body dumps the adrenaline and you use it up by exercising, that it doesn't have the same effect on your body. You're using the adrenaline. Whatever. I don't know if it worked. I don't know if that's the mechanism, but that helped me tremendously. I will tell you the Bible verse I used to quote all the time. God does give us, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And I would say it over and over again to myself. I mean, not out loud, maybe sometimes out loud, but mostly in my head. I would say it over and over and over again, and until the anxiety was gone. And y'all, it worked. It just worked. Let me turn on a little bit of music here. I don't know if I like this one or not. I'll just turn it down. But honestly, menopause was the best cure for me. Not being a slave to those hormones is very liberating. Extremely liberating. Okay. Y'all, these dang greeny squares are covered in cat hair. I can't wait to throw it in the washing machine. My cats thought it would be fun to sit up here and lay on all my stacks of squares. That's irritating. Ray of Sunshine, thank you so much for coming in tonight. I really do appreciate it. I know I'm a little late. That's okay. I guess late's better than dead. So anyhow, Izzy, what I wanted to suggest is the next time that you have those problems, try that, if you can remember it. I know it's difficult to remember, but try it and see if it helps. I used to take off out of my house at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and do walks around the block and stuff. Now, I lived in a lot safer neighborhood then than I do now, but it helped. It always helped. And even Poppy was willing to get up with me, knowing he had to go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. He still would get up with me and go to, walks with me because he knew how terrified I was. Shoot, one time, this is how crazy your brain is when you're having anxiety problems. And I, because I've lived it, I can say that. Um, One night I had an anxiety attack and I walked outside and it was just before daybreak. And I took my walk around the block because there were people up. It wasn't like it was pitch black or anything. It was, like I said, the sun was just coming up. And walk really fast around the block 2 or 3 times. And then I went to go back in my house, and y'all, this is no lie. I couldn't go back in my house. I felt like if I went back in my house, I was going to die. Dumbest thing ever happened to me. Ray of Sunshine said, I'll run you live while I get myself settled for the night. For us night owls, running late works. Yes, it does, doesn't it? It surely does. Yes, I definitely do that. But now I'm in hospital and I can't walk because I'll fall. Wait a minute. You're in the hospital right now, doggy? Izzy, what the heck is going on with you? I mean, I guess if you don't want to tell everybody, that's your business. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. I never should have bordered this with black yarn, y'all. I knew better. I did. I knew better. Excuse me. So they don't want you to go home until you can keep food and liquids down. Is that from the anesthesia, or is it because of your other situation thing going on? I don't know how much you want folks to know, so I'm trying to be, you know, respectful of your privacy. Okay, that don't feel right. Oh, but it is right. Looky there. There's that one. And there's that one. Well, is all this pregnancy related? And why would they give you a colonoscopy if you were pregnant? Are you not pregnant and it's something else? What's going on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look, y'all. Look, it's done. Go me, go me. There we go. I mean, the whole thing's not done, but that one row is done, and considering how little work I've done on it, that's an accomplishment right there. Now, let me find my little tag. Well, I had a number tag up here. Oh, y'all, something so great happened today. Poppy went to the store and bought the rest of the soil that I need to fill up the last 3 garden beds inside the fence. Now, I have other garden beds that I need to buy and fill up on the outside of the fence, but I'm not there yet. I'm just trying to get the inside garden completely finished before I start working on the other stuff. And it's a little disappointing because I want to plant all my flowers, and I know I can't until the outside beds are done. But that's okay. I can plant them throughout the inside garden beds, like next to the peppers or next to the tomatoes or next to whatever I'm growing out there. I can stick flowers out there, and it's not going to bother those plants one bit. So I won't have as many flowers as I like to have, but at least I'll have some, right? I've got to find a pen. There we go. It's my little tablet. There it is. See, this is row 9, and I have to keep the rows in order because if I don't, I'm going to have colors that sit next to each other when it's over with, and I don't want that. Me and my daughter painstakingly put all these down on the floor and arranged it so that no color that was touching a square was the same. Like, there were no duplicate squares within 2 or 3 rows of the actual this color or this one color. And it was a long process to do that because it just is. Especially when I've got 14 different colors. 13 or 14. Heck, it might be more than that. But, hey, Dwayne, how are you tonight? Thank you so much for coming in here. Thank you. You like how that looks? Well, thank you so much. This is row number 9. Now, that does not mean I'm crocheting these together in order. I do not have 9 rows crocheted together. I have probably 6 rows crocheted together. I started going frontwards from 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, and then I picked up numbers 9 and 10 to do next. So that's how that went. All right, here's row 10. Oh, wait, shut the front door. Is row 10 done too? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It sure is. Would you look at that? I didn't know I'd already done that. I'm going to have to go get some more rows. Now look, I'm doing other projects too. Now Izzy's the one that got me on the sew together the blanket bandwagon because I gave her a choice. None of the rest of y'all were in here, so it was on Izzy to decide for me what we were going to work on tonight. But let me show you what else I got. Okay, so that's 2 more rows done. Maybe that was number 6. I'm going to have to check that out. So I started working on this project tonight. This is not tonight, probably around 3 o'clock this afternoon while I was waiting on dinner to cook. This is going to be another one of those. Do y'all remember the ruffle sleeve cardigan that I made? Well, it's going to be like that, but not exactly that. This is a stitch pattern that I picked up on Bag-A-Day Crochet. And no, it's going to be a sweater. Now, the squares is a blanket in the works. Yes. So I had a miscarriage and kind of knew it was a 97% chance that it be. I'm so sorry, Izzy. I know that's tough. I know that's hard. And I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that happened. Um, but anyhow, this is going to be a cardigan to wear over tank tops and stuff like that. And I hate to call it a cardigan because it's not, I mean, there's no buttons. It's not going to tie. It's not even going to close. It's just going to be an open sweater, a very lightweight, very holey sweater, just so I can cover my arms when I have a tank top or a sleeveless shirt on. I don't like showing my arms at all. And it's not that they're super morbidly obese, it's just that I've never liked the way they look in a tank top or a sleeveless shirt. But I live in Hades, y'all, and in the summertime you can't wear nothing but either sleeveless tank tops, dresses, what have you. Yeah, Izzy, that's a sad day, and I know it is. Unfortunately, I've been through that myself, and I don't want to ever have to go through it again, or you know, I don't want other people to go through it either. It's hard. I mean, even if you weren't ready for the events that were about to happen, it's still hard, you know? And I'm trying to be delicate with what I'm talking about. I'm sure all you ladies understand. Um, anyhow, I'm working on this. This is the most wonderful yarn. It's Barocco. Um, well, it's a Barocco cotton blend. Cotton, viscose, and acrylic. And it's a very soft, stretchy, and it's got a little bit of shine. It's not a metallic shiny thread. It's more like a silky shiny thread that goes through it. I really, really like this yarn. I've had it for a very long time. And I've been wanting to figure out something to do with it. And when I saw that stitch on Bag a Day Crochet, I thought that's the stitch I want to use for the cardigan I want to make. So there's that. And then I also, so I've got the blanket, I've got that cardigan, and then I started another turtle, y'all. I have his head done, and I have his flippers done. Well, Dwayne, thank you for asking that very important question. It says, how does pure cotton compare to this yarn? Well, it depends. And that's the best answer I've got because it depends on what kind of cotton that you're after. If you get a pure Mako cotton, it feels very soft and warm and cuddly like a bunny rabbit almost, you know? It's that soft. Then if you get a Pima cotton, it's very, very soft. Great for tops and things like that. I think one of the main differences is I don't think the colors are going to bleed in this yarn. And sometimes with pure cotton, you get bleeding of colors, you get fading of colors. Last night when they noticed that I couldn't keep anything down after 24 hours, they went back for an x-ray and saw a mass and scheduled emergency surgery. So did you have surgery yesterday or today? So anyhow, you get mercerized cotton. Mercerized cotton is great for doilies. That's the same kind of cotton they used to use to make that. It's good for tops too, but it's not as soft. It's a little more sturdy cotton. And then you have kitchen cotton. And kitchen cotton can be anywhere from soft and garment worthy all the way down to something you would make a scrubby out of. And not something you would want to use put on your body to wear. So, but now this is got good. Also, cotton can shrink. Cotton can. There's a lot of issues with natural fibers that you don't have when you blend a acrylic fiber or another fiber with it. And this viscose is probably from bamboo, usually is. Here lately it usually is. Of course, it didn't say that on the packaging, so I could be wrong. The acrylic is giving it some bounce, some stretch. The cotton is giving it breathability. The acrylic is also giving it that amazing color and the ability to have a color that's stable. So yeah, there's good Lord, there's a lot of so it's not the dye that runs, but the type of material is the factor in the colors. Sometimes, yes. I think natural fibers run more than anything else. When you get acrylic and polyester and all of that, they don't bleed nearly as much. So hang on, let me back up here a little bit. They said it could not be cancer, but also could be cancer. So they sent it to get it tested. So it's not the... Okay. I had it on the 13th. I did not realize that. I didn't realize that. I thought it was recent. So now you're back in the hospital? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Today is the 13th, isn't it? Well, it's 14th. Okay. Okay. Long ago, they used plant-based dyes. Yes, they did. And now, I don't know a lot about the dyes, but I do know about the yarn. So I wouldn't know how a plant-based dye versus a chemical dye or a commercial dye would affect each and every type of fiber. Gosh, Dwayne, I just woke up and you're making me think like a stinking, like I'm educated or something. Turmeric or saffron. Yeah, that made yellows. Beet dye made red. Indigo made blue. Eggs. They used eggs in paint, for crying out loud. I never left the hospital since the 11th. Okay. So you've been watching the streams from your phone or something? Doggy life, you ought to get yourself some rest, my dear. I know that you've been through a lot. But anyhow, so yeah, that's what I'm working on. Now I'm also working on a fourth item. That's Tanner the Triceratops. But I'm only working on that on Fridays because I'm doing it on a live stream with another YouTuber, handcrafted by Jackie. So there's that. Let me get back to work. I did not realize that 10th row was put together, so I'm going to have to go get another stack of granny squares. I'll be right back. See, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we're in trouble now. Okay. This stack only has 8. Well, this stack only has 8 squares in it, so I'm going to have to find the rogue square before I put that together. This one has 9, I'm sure of it. We bundled them up like this so we could keep them straight. but it looks like we haven't been extremely successful with our bundles. That's the issue. I can't sleep, but when I had surgery, I had the most restful. Oh, yeah. Surgery makes for a great nap. Yes, ma'am. My daughter is going Thursday to have a hysterectomy. Please keep her in your thoughts and prayers. She is going to be 36 years old in June and doesn't have any children and has been plagued with girl trouble her whole life and has finally acquired some fibroid tumors in there, and they have to take everything out because she's having a hard time with pain and all the stuff that comes along with that. So they're going to give her a hysterectomy, and she's okay with it now. At first she was a little shocked and confused, and she had already decided she didn't want to have children. So I think that's a good thing, that she had already made up her mind about that. But it does make me sad, because why is it that it always seems like the people who would make the best mothers have to go through stuff like this? Because, my daughter has spent her life, her adult life, training to do therapy for children and help them when they're in a bad situation. That's her job. She's a child therapist. Most of her clients are children. She does have a few adults. But she loves the kids, and she loves her nieces and nephews. I will never forget, she was with me when Violet was born 20 years ago in August. She was 16 years old, and she was down at the business end, y'all. And she wanted to see her baby sister come into the world. And she did. And I will never forget hearing her just sobbing, "Oh, Mom, she's beautiful. There she is. She's right there. I can see her head." She didn't even know what the baby looked like yet, telling me she was beautiful. And let me tell you what, this is the girl that was, she, she was the princess in the house till she was 16. And when I brought the baby home from the hospital, she just fell in love with her from the minute she laid eyes on her, from the minute she was born, before she even came completely into the world. She fell in love with her, and they've had a close relationship ever since. But she used to take her everywhere with her, and she would sleep with her, and she would go and buy her things, and I would tell her, "Baby, save your money for yourself. You've got, you need things." She'd say, "Mama, I can take care of both of us." I said, "All right, you go on with your bad self then." But she loved both of her siblings, her younger siblings. Well, shoot, she's got more than two. She's number 2 out of 7, so there's that. But I always thought she'd make such a wonderful mother, parent. And she's not a pushover either. She's she's a lot like me in that respect. She has very high expectations. Very high. Out of everybody. Even herself. Yeah, I wouldn't call her selfless. I wouldn't quite call her that. But she loves who she loves, you know what I mean? She'll do whatever she can with them, for them, to them. It's just who she is. And it makes me sad that she won't ever have her own children. But I was sad before the hysterectomy because I knew she had chosen not to have any children, and it just made me sad because I know how much she would enjoy them. But now, don't feel bad for her because she's very content with her life. And she will be extremely happy when this procedure's over with. And she can get on with her life without being saddled with the agony that she's had to endure since she was about 13 years old. I remember my grandmother saying that she saw on TV once where someone said that mothers are important and a mother is something you can't replace, and that is true. I mean, I think we all feel that way. Um, and I think what bothers me the most about her situation is she'll never understand that kind of dedication and relationship. And I think everybody should be able to experience it if that's what they want. But then again, like I said earlier, she never wanted that. She never wanted it. So you don't miss what you never had. And that's what I told her the other day. As sad as I was, I said, baby, don't worry about it. You don't miss what you never had. Because you just don't know. You can't know. Y'all, we had such a tragedy happen here where I live. Not in my house, thank God. But yesterday, I don't know, you might have seen it on the news. There's a town called Socher that's just north of me. And a young girl went missing yesterday at about noon. And everybody looked for her, from the people in the neighborhood to the police. Everybody was out looking till 6 o'clock last night, and they found her body. The interesting thing about that sad situation is there are no more details. We don't know what happened to her. We don't know why they found her like they did, which leads me to believe, my first thought was, oh gosh, there's lots of ponds and lakes out that way. Maybe she, found herself in one and drowned. But they would have said that if that would have happened on the news. That would have been a detail. They ain't never shy about it any other time. Why would they be shy about it now? So I think that they might suspect some foul play, even though the other night or yet last night they had not come to that conclusion yet, at least not publicly. 6-year-old baby. I mean, in my opinion, to me, that's what they are when they're 6. They're babies, for crying out loud. Just, it's a sad day, though. Anytime something like that happens, I don't know about every other parent, but I always think back to when my kids were that age and think, good Lord, how in the world, how did something like that happen? And but for the grace of God go I. Because I've been in many situations where an accident could have happened to my children. And my children have been in situations where they could have been injured. Shoot, that daughter I was just telling y'all about, when she was about 10 or 11 years old, she went with the babysitter's daughter to deliver some, I don't know, Avon or something like that. The mama was an Avon lady or Pampered Chef or some, and oh, I'll take it, I'll deliver it. And she took my daughter with her. A semi truck hit them. Thankfully, nobody was injured. But I was on my way home from work going to pick her up from the daycare, babysitter, whatever. And I heard I was in the traffic from that accident. And I was listening about it on the radio. Had no idea it was my own child. By the time I got back to the babysitter's house, my daughter was sitting in the house waiting on me. And the babysitter had to tell me what happened to my child. Yeah, she did. She had so many years to go. I hope she's resting in peace as we speak. And whatever happened to her, I hope that if there's a culprit, that they don't get away with it. I, and I suspect there might be, just by the way they're handling, getting the information. They're being very, very tight-lipped with all of it. And that usually indicates that there's a suspicion of some sort. In this day and age, people have to be diligent, and oh gosh, yes, they do. But you know what, Dwayne? Young parents don't understand that like older parents do. And I'm only saying that because I've been both. I was a parent in my 20s. I had my first child when I was 20 years old. And I was not nearly as diligent back then as I was raising these last two kids. And I think a lot of it is because when you're young, you're 10 feet tall and bulletproof. You don't think anything bad's going to happen to you. You think everybody lives forever. Even into your 20s and 30s, maybe. But then you see how terrible things can be for other folks, and you start wondering, well, shoot, when's that bomb going to drop? When is that shoe going to drop? When am I going to get some of that ugly? I remember news reports where children and people went missing, and they have never, oh yeah, tomorrow's never promised to anyone. That's true. I'm always very baffled about those reports where people go missing and are never heard from again, especially in today's time. But it started making a little more sense to me. Have y'all seen all of those underwater hunt? What's the name of it? Shoot. Where the divers go underwater and look for missing people. Or they find cars in rivers, and all of a sudden it's some car that's been missing for 51 years and there's somebody in it. And they have to tell the family, hey, we found your loved one finally after all this time. Now that makes sense. I never did believe these people got abducted by aliens. Or anything weird like that. And I think if it was my family member, I would be relieved that it was accidental and not intentional. But can you imagine all those years of worrying and wondering, where's my child? Where's my husband? Where's my wife? Where's my aunt and uncle? Whatever, whoever it is that's gone. Can you imagine all of the scenarios that would go through your head worrying about those people? If you're anything like me, you could think of 101 different things in just the first 5 minutes. Jamerica, hi. How are you tonight? We're talking about morbid stuff over here. I guess I'm in a mood. I'm not trying to be morbid. I just, things are coming up and airplane crashes and what. Yeah. Remember that flight that went missing? I don't know, the Malaysian flight, and they never did find hide nor hair of it? I think it went missing over there by Australia or somewhere. All those people just poof, gone. So y'all, I planted some squash today. I know it's probably an act of futility, because the vine boring bugs are probably going to get it. I may get one or two pieces of squash off of each plant before the vine borers come out. And if my gardens would have been done before March, I could already have squash by now, and I'd be pulling it out because the vine boring bugs would already be killing it. But here we are, and I'm going to try to get some squash, even if it's just a few fresh ones to eat. I planted patty pan, straight neck yellow squash. I have already have some of that. Excuse me. I already have some tromboncini squash. It's supposed to taste like zucchini. I've never had it before. This is the first time I've grown it, so this is an experiment. Yes, Dwayne, I have grown fennel before, one time, and I had it for quite some time. And then the ant beds, the fire ants got in there, and it made it so painful to try to work with that fennel and, take care of it that I ended up having to throw it out. Because I'm not sticking my hand into a fire ant bed. And the fire ant bed was in the raised garden bed that I had the fennel in. So I threw it out. It was bronze fennel. Oh, I love squash. You planted squash again too? Good, good. Jamaica, what area of the country are you in, or in the world? Are you in the South too? Oh, Austin. Okay, okay. I kind of remembered that it was Southern. I just didn't know couldn't remember exactly where. Um, so you should be able to grow pretty good over there. I don't think it gets as hot as like Houston, does it? Because where I live and where Houston is about the same climate. Um, I had an experience picking wild berries once. Lots of red ants got on me. Oh Lord, in Canada? I didn't even think they had fire ants in Canada. That's what we call here because when they oh, it's just as hot. Okay, okay. Thank you for letting me know that. I had no idea. Um, so you know what it's like gardening in this mess. So what do you think the chances are that your squash are going to live? Because I don't have a whole lot of hope for mine. And maybe I'm just being a naysayer, but my experience with squash is not good. Not good at all. Unless I plant it in. Okay, here's the thing. If I plant it in February and we don't get a early freeze, or if as long as our freezes stop at the end of February like they're supposed to, I can get a lot of squash. But once we get into April and May, I'm in trouble. Last year I had one that put out about 7 squash before the. I don't know what that is. The vine. Oh, the vine borer got it. Okay. The rest of them were taken out early in the season. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Them dang vine boring. Ugh. And you know what's crazy is I never seen a squash bug here in the whole time I've been here, and I've been years never seen a squash bug. And people complain about squash bugs all the time, but that's not the problem we have. We have vine boring bugs, the vine borer, and it's evil. And I'm thinking about buying some row covers to keep the moth off of the plants. But I honestly am very skeptical as to whether or not that will even work. because I've got some PVC that I can make a hoop house with and then put the row cover over it. I haven't in a long time. I used to use it to overwinter my peppers like that with, greenhouse plastic. But I haven't had to do that in a while because I haven't overwintered peppers in a while. And honestly have no interest in overwintering peppers yet. Of course, I don't know. The way things are getting expensive nowadays, it kind of makes sense to overwinter whatever you can, doesn't it? Good night, Izzy. I do hope you recover quickly. They want to keep you until you get food and liquid. Well, get well soon, my dear. Get well soon. And I'll see you again before, what, probably Tuesday. I'll tell you what, tomorrow is going to be a glorious day. If it rains, I don't care if there's not a cloud in the sky. It's going to be glorious. Either way. Because my boy's home. And he's going to get up and feed the chickens in the morning and not me. That will make it a glorious day. He can also help me in the garden tomorrow. I've got a few things to do. Y'all, you gardeners out there, I need you to listen to this. I told Poppy that I was wanting some trellises and to go to Home Depot and see what he could find for me to grow beans on. I want to put out my Louisiana purple potted beans and grow them on the trellis. Well, he called me up. He said, Charlotte, these trellises are too much money. He said, do you mind if I look around the different hardware departments and see what I can come up with? I said, go for it. Whatever you can do to bring me home some cheap trellises will work for me, right? He bought home something called ladder mesh. I'm going to type it in the chat. There. It's $5 for a 10-foot piece. And it's about this wide. Y'all need to be this direction anyway. I'm going to turn this. There we go. So, it's about this wide. And it's made out of galvanized metal. It's got two long runners going this way, and then it looks like a ladder. Only the spaces are about 18 inches apart, maybe a foot apart. It's going to make the most amazing trellises for $5 a piece. And I'm super tickled because you just can't buy trellises for that price anymore. And I can't wait. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I can't wait to get them put together to see, how it's going to work out and what it's going to look like. You could paint them if you wanted to. You could actually wire two of them together or zip tie. Now, I don't like using zip ties in the garden because the sun here just bakes them into brittle plastic and they butt and they break. But if you used wire and you twisted it together, it would last forever. So you'd have one that's like maybe, I want to say the ladder mesh is maybe 6 to 8 inches across. So you're going to have a trellis that's, 12 to 16 inches, which is plenty. And the thing is, it's made out of that thick galvanized metal, so you can hoop it over your bed and it'll stay put. Because it's thick metal, kind of like I don't think it's quite as thick as cattle panel, but it's close. And I am super excited about getting that going. Now, the first one I'm making it tomorrow. Um, I'm just going to make it plain like it is. It's going to stay just like it is so I can get a feel for what to do with it. But I'm going to have him go back and get some more tomorrow. And what about adding bamboo poles, which can be used for tomatoes? That's a great idea. I just don't have any. What I do have are T-posts. I've got some T-posts and some U-posts. So I'll be staking my tomatoes with those. And honestly, those are a little stronger than the little bamboo. I guess if you had real thick bamboo canes, that would be a lot better than the little thin ones. But here, I haven't found any thick ones here. They're about, I don't know, the size, diameter of my finger. And they're a little flimsy. But now what you can do with those is you can like stick 3 of them in a grow bag and then bring them together at the top like a teepee and grow anything up that, cucumbers, beans, anything you want to, really. But I've got to order some butternut squash. See, I'm sitting here talking about squash, and I know darn good and well that vine borers are going to get the butternut squash too. But I got to try, because if I don't try, I won't get any. At least if I try, I might get 1 or 2. Y'all, I'm getting bored with this stinking blanket again. It's just not holding my attention. Kind of like my YouTube channel. It doesn't hold people's attention. I would love to go and just buy a whole bunch of those bamboo poles, but you know what? They're expensive too. But that ladder mesh, that's the best deal I've seen in a long time. Because you can't even buy 6-7 foot T-posts or U-posts anymore for less than, well, you can't get them for $5. I promise you that. You might get a 4-foot one for $5. But you're not going to get the taller ones for $5. I think, in fact, I looked at Tractor Supply yesterday, and they were between $7 and $9 for the height that I wanted. So I feel, oh shoot. Let's see. Let's do that. And if I could see this black yarn, it would make my life a lot easier. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. But yeah, I'm really excited to get out there tomorrow in the garden. Poppy filled all of my beds up with soil. So now I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. I've got 11 garden beds now full of soil. I need to buy 1 more garden bed for the inside of the fence and fill that up. But I made a video of the new garden, what we've got done so far. And I'll be posting that really soon. So y'all keep your eyes open. I was doing some editing today, but it takes me a long time to edit, y'all. I'm not really great at it, so I'm doing my best. But I do intend to get it out this week, probably in the earlier part of the week, so that y'all can see what I'm talking about when I discuss, my garden on my live streams and stuff. Because maybe you could get like a picture in your head or something if you wanted to keep that picture in your head. I'm really proud of all the work that Poppy's done. He's made it look 1,000% better than it did before we started this makeover. I didn't just make do with what I had this time. And it looks pretty good. Pretty good. The only things we need to do to finish the interior of the garden is shoot. I have to buy that one bed that needs to be filled with soil. And then we have to finish the arbor all across the back of the garden. And then it will be completely done on the inside. And we'll have to start working on the outside. And the outside is part, kinda, because I'm going to put raised beds all the way around the the east side and the north side of the bed. And I'm putting my blueberries in the front, and I'm putting nothing but flowers all down the north side. That's going to be where I plant all my annual flowers, and I'm hoping that it's as beautiful as my head tells me it's going to be. Hey, Lydia, what are you doing up so late, dear? I'm happy you are. I'm happy you're with us tonight. Thank you. I was just talking about my garden and all my crochet projects I've got going on. Izzy convinced me that I should work on this never-ending blanket. And by the time this is over, I'll have 3 additional rows put together. And it looks like this is my last square. Boy, that went by pretty quick. Hey, for everybody in the chat, and if you're lurking outside of the chat, just watching, please don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps my channel be seen by more folks. And that's what I'm trying to do, is get my channel seen by more folks. That's why I'm doing these vertical live streams and posting videos. You know, I went for a long time where I didn't do a whole lot of nothing on YouTube, probably about a year and a half. And my channel kind of really suffered. So now I'm just trying to kind of bring it back a little bit and make it useful again. How many of... Hey, Lady Manuela, how are you? Thank you for coming in tonight. I'm putting together my never-ending granny square blanket. I have a feeling I'll still be working on this when I'm 85. I hope not. I couldn't be better, Manuela. I got my son home safe and sound today from his little trip to D.C. Y'all, he brought me a souvenir from Busch Gardens. He is so sweet. I can't believe he... You know what? I sent him with his money and a little bit of my money, okay? He saved his money to go on this trip for a while, since probably September last year. And then I gave him a little extra because I was afraid he wouldn't have enough. I told him, I said, you don't realize how expensive that area of the country is. So just in case you need it, here's some more money. Y'all, he came back with every dime of the money that I gave him. He only spent his own money. So I told him he could have it to make up for what he spent because he's got a truck and he wants to do some work on the truck. And I told him he could just keep what was left. And he was so happy. Y'all, he was tickled. But now I didn't tell him that to get him to buy me a gift at Busch Gardens. He didn't know it till he got home. He didn't have that information till he walked in the house. But, excuse me. I don't know why I keep coughing lately. I think it's allergies, y'all, and I'm sorry that it sounds gross. Y'all, look at this. He bought me a Highland cow. I love him. I love cows. My son knows I love cows. He had eyeballs underneath there, and they're so sweet. And he sits up like this. I know you can't see it because but he does. He sits on his booty. But I couldn't believe that he actually thought of the rest of the family. He brought his sister something, and he brought his daddy something, and he brought his mama something, and I was just floored. You're coughing too, Lydia? I don't like that. I mean, I don't like it when I do it. But it's annoying, isn't it? It's just annoying, and I hate doing it on video because nobody wants to hear that mess. But it's just what it is, you know. And being out in the garden, what seems like all day, every day now, I think it makes the allergies worse. I don't know what's worse, being in the garden or being in this house with all these cats. Do you know, listen to this. My daughter and my husband went to Walmart last night to pick up ice and a few other things. I forget what else. Oh, water, bottles of water, ice, and paper towels. So they were taking too long, and I called my husband. I said, "What are y'all doing?" He says, "Well, your daughter is trying to kidnap a stray kitty cat in the Walmart parking lot." I said, "No, no, tell her to put it down." He says, "But she really wants this cat." And I said, "She can want all day long. She's got 2 cats at the house that she don't take care of because she wanted them." I said, "When she gets her own house, she can have as many cats as she wants. But 5 is enough for my house." I said, "I already have to live on Zyrtec and Flonase every day. Why in the world would she want to bring another one home?" So I had to put my foot down and be mean and say no. But that's what moms do, right? That's just what we do. Y'all, I'm tired of that blanket, and I'm going to start working on this. I think I'm going to finish up this. Oh, crap. It's a turtle. I couldn't think of the word. There's his flippers, and there's his little face, his head. I put eyelashes on him this time. And all I have to do is his shell and put him together. So, let's do it. I think I can remember how to do him. If not, I've got the web page up so I can read the directions if I need to. But now look, me and counting on a live stream sometimes comes to a bitter, ugly end. So, and I end up being very frustrated because I have to take the whole thing out or something like that because I get really confused and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this, see there? So keep your fingers crossed, because this might work and this might not work. Nope. Why do I keep wanting to make half double crochets? I know that's not what I need to make. It does look like a girl, doesn't it? Frederica and not Freddie. I love it. I love it. I love that. Well, I'm glad that my daughter didn't bring that cat home, because I would have had to name her Lydia after my friend Lydia there. I told her, I said, the next animal that comes in this house, I'm going to name it Lydia. I should have named my child Lydia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I always really liked that name. I don't know why I didn't think of it when I was having children. Um, 1, 2. Now, y'all know I have to make another one of these turtles, too. As soon as I get some more green yarn, I'm going to. Because I told Miss Peachnut that I would make her a pink and green one, because those are the colors of her sorority. So, there's that. But I'll probably get a little bit of a break before I get the green yarn. I'm on a yarn buying ban. She's cute no matter what it is. Thank you. Thank you. I thought the eyelashes were a cute touch. I mean, we all know that sea turtles really don't have eyelashes. But that's the beauty of making little stuffed animals, is you can make them be anything you want them to be. And you can make them with eyelashes if you want to. That's what my daughter told me when I showed her the head. She said, Mom, sea turtles do not have eyelashes. I'm like, so what? Mine does. Okay, let's see. I don't know why that music turned off like it did. There. I'll tell you what, guys. I need to run to the ladies' room. I'll be right back. And I will resume working on this shell when I get back, okay? Oh, of course, it decided to play an ad on here. There. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate that. I also would like to thank all of you for being here tonight. I know it's late, and I know I was late, and I appreciate all of you good folks who decided to come in here and keep me company. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Booyah. So what we're going to do here is use a stitch marker, because when I forget to use the stitch markers, when I get in trouble. And I always do it toward the end, when I'm almost finished and I realize, oh crap, I've lost count because I forgot to put my stinking stitch marker in there. So, and tomorrow night on my live stream, I'm probably going to be doing some diamond painting. I want to get that diamond painting finished so I can start a new one. I don't know if you remember or not, but I got the cat diamond painting, Waiting in the Wings. And I'm really chomping at the bit to get that one started. But I promised myself I would only tackle one diamond painting at a time. Because oh, that's annoying. I can't stand that music, y'all. Let me see if I can get rid of it. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Let's do that. Let's find something else. Okay. Well, I guess I could do... Let's try that one. Nope, that's not right. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2. 1, 2. I have to pay more attention when I'm crocheting in the round than when I'm just putting granny squares together. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You know what? Yeah, that's right. I don't like that either. That's okay. I don't have to like it. It's copy music, y'all. I mean, come on. Gotta love that, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Wait, that's not right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6. 8. This furls hook that I'm using, I got on a clearance sale that they were having for Oops. Basically, it didn't turn out, the colors didn't turn out the way they wanted it to, or there might be a seam here where they, just little things that went wrong with it that they didn't want to sell it for the regular price, right? I got it for $10. I needed an M or an 8 millimeter, which is odd because a lot of places call an L an 8 millimeter, but this is an 8 millimeter. Um, and this is the first time I've ever used a resin hook, and I like it. It's really smooth going through the yarn, but it slips off a lot. And on my metal hooks, I don't really have that problem so much. For all of you crocheters out there, what do you think of the resin hooks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yay, go. Okay. One. I do like it though. I like it better than the Odyssey hooks that I have from Furls. Those Odyssey hooks are almost impossible to work with for me. They're too heavy. And they make my hands hurt something fierce. Okay, that's annoying. That is not relaxing music. It says copyright free relaxing vibes, not relaxing music. Okay. 1, 2. That is not supposed to be a half double crochet. One, two, three, four, 5. 1, Wait a minute. Okay, why are you letting me down like this, Frederica? Okay. I got to 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's round 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, I messed up somehow. So let's go back. Because I need 30 stitches. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 24, single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now, finally got that right. There we go. So, single crochet 2, 1, 2, see, you thought I was going to forget it, didn't you? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, recently bought an acrylic hook just to try it. You didn't like it at all. Wow, Jane, that's interesting because I'm not sure I love it. Now, this is made from resin, but I think it doesn't have a plastic. It does kind of have a plastic feel, but it's heavier than plastic. It's resin, so but it is slippery. It is very slippery. So there's that. And I'm not having trouble, like getting the hook into the yarn or anything like that. But it is, occasionally it will slip off. And I have been struggling with that ever since I started using it. Now, is that going to keep me from using it again? Probably not. But just saying. I think that's not enough. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. I don't understand why this happens every single time, but I'm going to fix it doing this. 36. Okay. 1. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. I think I will forever and always be a Susan Bates lover of hooks. I've used them almost from the beginning of my crochet. I started off with boy hooks. That's how I was taught. But it wasn't long after that I was introduced to the Susan Bates hooks. And I was a fan for life. And in fact, I would like to get some more, another set of these. The acrylic hook would drag, not smooth at all. I'm glad I did a try. Oh, that's interesting. See, now I've had acrylic hooks before that would drag as well. And some of them would even have like a seam down the side where it was molded together, or maybe a part that needed to be sanded up here on the top or on the bottom. This one here looks like it was like a one-piece mold or something like that. And it also looks like it's been polished. I think it was worth what I paid for it. Is this going to be a go-to for me? No. But because it's the size I need, I'll definitely use it when I need an 8mm. I don't need an 8mm very often, though. I don't usually... Well, I don't know. I guess I've been doing these amigurumis more and more lately. I don't necessarily love working with this big blanket yarn, though. I would rather work with the velvet yarn that I'm making Tanner with. That is a very nice yarn to work with. I like the 4-weight chenilles instead of the 6. So there's that. I mean, these thicker yarns like this, the Bernat blanket and all those of that ilk, they serve a purpose because they do make absolutely adorable little plushies. So I can't say that they're not worthy. I'm just saying that I don't enjoy using them as much as the other yarns. Lightly use an emery board on the acrylic hook to smooth out the perfections. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you could do that, definitely. And then take maybe a polishing cloth, like a jeweler's polishing cloth, and smooth it out. It should bounce back just fine from any seams that have been sanded. Let me count this real quick because I know me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank goodness. Okay. One. Yes, one. Two. Mm-hmm. Six. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 6. You know what I should do? I should take all of these turtles that I've made and I should put them all together, like somewhere where I can take a picture of all of them together. That would be so funny. I think it would anyway. But who am I? What do I know? What do I know? Jane, I don't know if you make these amigurumis or not, but what do you do when the top of it just looks like a body part, if you know what I mean? Because I really would like to have it a little smoother than... I guess stuffing it might help, right? I hate when it comes to a point like that. I need my tea. Lydia, do you have that problem? Are you still here, dear? Oh, my hands are kind of hurting a little bit. Okay, let's try again. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rows. 8 rows. Need one more. I think that video... Well, you know something? I saw one video where it said to go straight to the second row and make 12 single crochets in the circle and then start with row 3 after that. But I tried that, and I did not care for the way it looked, especially on the turtle head. Now, it might have worked better on this, but as far as the turtle head goes, I think it needs to have a little bit of a turtle nose point. You know what I mean? So I tried to straighten it as much as I could. My eyes might be a little crooked on this one, but I put it between the 4th and 5th row like it said. It looks a little wonky to me, but that's okay, because everybody is a little off-centered, right? We're not all symmetrical. We're asymmetrical. But I did not think to try it on the shell part. I'll do that next time when I make one. Wait a minute. 1. Oh, fiddlesticks. 1. Okay. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, don't you go anywhere. 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, thank you, Jane. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Oop. 29. See what it did? It just slipped off twice in a row. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. All right. Hmm. Hmm. 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, the little flippers came out a little smaller than they normally do because, see, you're supposed to use a 7 millimeter hook for the head, but I don't have one, so I used a 6.5. And then you're supposed to use an 8 millimeter hook for the flippers and the shell. So I didn't switch. I just used the 6.5 millimeter to do the flippers with, but I think it'll be okay. He might look like a little dwarf with his tiny little flippers. That's okay, because everybody's different. And all of my turtles are different. They might look the same, but they are definitely different, other than their color. Some of them I had to make up stitches in, and some of them I forgot to switch hooks, and some of them, their eyes look wonky. Grumpus, hi, how are you tonight? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. It's been slim pickings tonight. Jane and Lydia are here. Izzy was here a little earlier. Are you up for your evening break? Or are you just going to bed? Lord, I hope you're not just going to bed. Well, Grumpus, I'm working on another one of these turtles. Oh, and Dwayne is still here. I didn't realize, Dwayne. Thank you. Taking a 10-minute break doing... Oh, duh, no, not taxes. Poppy already got his done, ours done. I consider them his taxes because, you know, he's the one that makes all the money, so. I keep trying to encourage him to do them way back in, you know, February, January, whatever. He doesn't like to do that, though. He'll put it off and put it off. Of course, it's probably because lately, we've been owing money. Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Grumpus, you should have had my... I made a pork butt in the oven in my, oh, what do you call it? It's the enamel coated Dutch oven. You wait till the last day every year. I'm early tonight. I made a pork butt and some baked beans and some corn on the cob, and it was so stinking good. I haven't eaten like that in a very long time. You know, with all those carbs, and it was delicious. I needed it so much. And you know what I did with the pork butt? I poked garlic in it and some rosemary in the right down the center, and I tied it up, and I put just salt and pepper and some Tony Chachere's seasoning on it. And that was it. And boy, oh boy, it was delicious. And I was really surprised because my son absolutely attacked that pork roast tonight. He ate more tonight than I have probably seen him eat in his whole life. I mean, as far as the amount he ate for one meal. And it really did my heart good to see him eating like that. I know, right? A pork butt sandwich sounds so good, don't it? I could do it on some Italian bread and toast the bread and, do it like a grilled cheese and put butter on the back. Oh, God, that sounds good. Hush up. Hush up. Put some grilled onions on it. Okay, now I need to find my... Uh-oh. They're here somewhere. Okay, where's my needles? Because I need my tapestry needles to sew in. What did I do with them? They were just here. Jeez. Okay. Well, let's go over here. That's not gonna work. The eye's not big enough on this one. Well, I'm just gonna make do with what I've got and use my hook. Just like that. Pull it down here. This is how I used to weave in ends before I understood what a tapestry needle was for and how to use it. When I was young, my granny didn't have a tapestry needle. She just taught me how to weave in my ends by doing this. And it works. See there? Oh no, y'all! Oh, for the love of Pete. Shoot. No, wait, maybe it will work. It will. Okay, I'm good. Crapola. Okay, let's use this yarn. Grumpus sounds delicious. Let us know when they're ready. He said they're at Charlotte's. I wish y'all could come over for a midnight snack. We'd have some fun over here. Probably keep Poppy up too late. He'd be hollering, would you crazy folks hush it up? I gotta be at work in the morning. Okay. So This doesn't feel right. It's not right. Okay. Well, Grumpus, did you have a good day other than taxes? Because we did. We had a good day today. I got my boy back safe and sound, and I was happy to see him. And he brought me a little stuffed Highland cow from Busch Gardens, and I just love it. Okay. Ugh. Sewing this head on is the hardest part, y'all. Just a Monday, only 4 more Mondays to go. I get it. So, are you back to work full time now? Because I know you were doing half days when you were um, doing your physical therapy. I was wondering if they might be letting you work from home a little bit too. You know what? I don't think this is right. This is not right. Okay. Fiddlesticks. Let's do it this way. Okay. One. I knew it didn't feel right while I was doing it. I call it full time, putting in a solid 5 or 6 hours a day. Hey, it is what you make it, right? Gosh, I'm so frustrated right now. I should not be making these kinds of mistakes tonight because I am completely rested from that nap I took earlier. But I really feel like I am making mistakes. I am. Okay. I'm going to have to read the directions now. Break's over. Y'all have a wonderful night. I'll see you later. All right, Grumpus, thank you for coming in tonight. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to call it a night on this shell and regroup a little bit and see what I've done wrong, because there's something not right about this. And it might go back to me putting the final row on backwards. So I'm going to have to figure that out, and then maybe I'll come back tomorrow and finish the rest of it. Or I will go ahead and finish it up and then show y'all tomorrow the finished product. So thank you everybody for coming in tonight. I've enjoyed it. I'm so sorry I was late. Dwayne, thank you. Jane Doe, thank you. Everybody else in chat who's sitting here watching me do this thing, appreciate you. Lydia, take care of yourself. Y'all take care, and I'll see you real soon, all right?